Live from QVC, America's quality cable shopping channel. A galaxy of collectibles for fans of the Starship Enterprise. Coming your way next on the Star Trek Collector's Special.
Hello everyone and welcome to QVC. I'm Bob Bowersox and this is something we have been waiting to do for quite some time for you. That is bring you Star Trek Collectibles, and we are going to be talking with one of the greats really a legend in Hollywood, James Doohan, in just a second. Follow me over here and I'll be very glad to introduce you to everything that we're going to have on this Star Trek special. And there are quite a few things I know you're going to want to have. Keep in mind, please, that some of the things you're going to see, in fact, most of the things you're going to see tonight are not really going to be available to you in the conventions because it's very hard to get the signatures we have on these for you. And these are authentic autographs, and you come with a certificate of authenticity on all of them. Let me show you everything planned for you in this 2-hour special, and then we will get down to business and greet a very special guest who is going to be beaming down in just a second. Take a look at this, a limited edition Scotty plaque, and this is something we're going to be starting the hour off with. James Doohan, of course, is our very special guest, and he will be autographing each one of these for you, and we'll be talking about them. C8305 is a limited edition Scotty plaque at $108 or 3 payments of $36 each if you use your credit card for your Easy Pay program. It's item C8305. One of the things that really makes Star Trek is the technical accuracy that they tried to put into so many of their electronics and their engines, etc. Well, Mr. Scott put together the Guide to the Enterprise, schematics, instructions on operation, even right down to the layout of all of the rooms, of the captain's room, etc. This is a fabulous book, and it's autographed by James Doohan. C8303, $61.50. The QVC price. Shipping and handling is $447. C8306 is a limited edition Captain Kirk autograph plaque, and this is really a special piece because getting Bill Shatner's autograph is quite tough to do, and you're going to have it on an 8x10 photograph along with 2 great photographs from the Star Trek set. $117. Shipping and handling is $672. This too could be put on Easy Pay plan. 3 payments of $39 each. And that's on Easy Pay if you use your credit card. Comes with a certificate of authenticity signed by William Shatner. Here's something that was offered way back in the early 70s. This is the Starfleet Medical Manual. This, of course, was used by Bones McCoy, and this is item C8302 at just $55. And it comes with schematics of not only the medical area of the Starship Enterprise, but also with a lot of the different physiological ramifications of a lot of the Federation planet beings. So this is something really quite clever, and it comes to you at $55. The original 1977 release price was $695. We have 3 different t-shirts for you tonight. There's a Beam Me Up Scotty, there's the Spock Live Long and Prosper, and then there is a great one from the Starship Enterprise. The Enterprise t-shirt is a real beauty. Each one has a QVC price. The Beam Me Up Scotty is $22. The Spock, the Live Long and Prosper, is $21, and the Starship Enterprise is $23. Shipping and handling on each one, $3.72. This right here is one of the great posters of all time. It has all of the Starship Enterprise different versions of the Enterprise. Of course, NCC 1701A, And B, C, and D are listed on there, plus a lot of the history of each one down there on the right. This is C8323, features all three Enterprises against a colorful black background. And the poster's unique quality is due to the autograph of the ship's engineer, James Doohan, or of course, Scotty. Comes with a certificate of authenticity at only $83.25. Shipping and handling is $4.47. Here is probably the real photograph you want if you're a Star Trek fan. It has every one of the original stars on there. This is a limited edition original Star Trek crew plaque. It has an 8x10 photograph, and it is a limited edition of only 5,000 pieces. It is the original cast, and it features the 25th anniversary logo and a nameplate, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity. It's only $91.50. Just a fabulous photograph when you take a look at it. Shipping and handling is $5.22. If you're a fan of the Next Generation, here is the Next Generation plaque. And this one's very special because you'll see Wesley Crusher over there on the left side, Will Wheaton, who is no longer with the cast. So this is a very nice one because it's a first season photograph. 8308 is the item number, $91.50 for this one. Shipping and handling is $5.22. It too is a limited edition of only 5,000 pieces. The ceramic mugs at $23 each. Shipping and handling is $4.47. C8312. You have the Captain Kirk and the Mr. Spock. On the front of each is a color drawing of the character and the shield. And the bottom of each mug contains the name and model number of the mug. Each one is individually packaged, and that makes it great for gift giving. Peter is wearing for you right now the 25th anniversary jacket. We'll have him turn around so you can see that. Isn't that nice? Look at that logo. The 25th anniversary logo, and it comes in large and extra large. It is for ladies and gentlemen. 100% acetate outer, and inside the lining is a 100% acrylic knit. Black satin jacket, and it's done for only $107.69. QVC price, $118.50. So you are getting a nice reduction in price on that. Remember, sizes large and extra large. If you ever wanted to own a Star Trek uniform, Katie is modeling Sulu's. This is signed by George Takei right across the front of the uniform. This is an actual shooting uniform, what they would have shot the series in. It has the logo up there in the left chest, and it does have the little bands around the wrist, and it is signed right across the front by actor George Takei, who of course played Sulu. C8304. And it's available in 100% polyester, so it's easy to take care of. We have only extra larges, so it will fit anyone. And if you want to go right to the top of the Starship Enterprise, you can't go any further than Captain Kirk. And there is Kirk's uniform. Notice this difference in the banding on the sleeves. Signed right across the front by William Shatner. That's an authentic autograph with a certificate of authenticity. Gold long sleeve shirt in extra large. It is $108, or 3 payments of $36 each if you'd like to own it. C8319. This is one of my favorite items tonight. I am one of those Trek fans that loves the original series, and I'm in love with the Next Generation as well. And the two captains plus the starship are featured right on this disc plaque. And you see Captain Kirk, and you also see the captain of the Enterprise in Next Generation, Jean-Luc Picard. Laser-etched gold-colored disc on a black background. And it has the 25th anniversary logo in the center. It's a limited edition of only 1,000 at $174, or 3 payments of $58 each. Well, here's the Klingon mask, and this is modeled after Worf from Next Generation. And if you want to take a look at making yourself look great for Halloween, the Klingon mask is only $38.50. Shipping and handling is $4.47. One size fits all as well. Nothing like a Klingon. Of course, Klingons are one of the main character races in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, the new movie being released this December. C8320. If you'd rather be from Vulcan, you can have the Vulcan mask. This is C8326 at $38.50. Shipping and handling is $4.47. This, of course, is modeled after Spock. And again, one size fits all. The masks are made of stretchable, flame retardant, very important, flame retardant rubber. That T-shirt, by the way, is the Beam Me Up Scotty T-shirt that we have. Well, there it is. I've been wearing it for the last couple of weeks. You can own it right now, J15351. This is a fine, fine pin. It's the Star Trek communicator pin made of very heavy nickel and brass plate. It comes with the pins to attach it across the back for ladies or gentlemen. $19.75 is what our price is. But we're introducing this at $17.86. Already, hundreds of them have been ordered without it even being on the air. Shipping and handling is $3.47. J15351. They're going to go quickly, so you might want to get on the line for that. One of the great characters always, especially with some of the storylines that the original series was able to bring, is George Takei. And Sulu, of course, is the character he played. Here is your Sulu plaque, C8337. $83.25 for this. Limited edition of 1,000. And it features the photo of George Takei. And each one is, of course, a limited edition signed by George. $83.25 comes along with the 25th anniversary plaque on the bottom. And here's the Captain poster. What a fine poster. Absolutely. Captain Kirk, Captain Jean-Luc Picard in a really, really nice rendition. Commemorates 25 years since the first episode of the Star Trek TV series and includes a certificate of authenticity. Well, that's quite a nice selection of things to pick from, especially because of some of the autographs you can have. We have a very special guest, however, who has yet to arrive. He's circling the planet at the moment, but I believe it's about time to welcome him. If you would please, Ensign Coppolino, please beam down and energize. James Doohan! Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Bob. It's
good to see you. Here. Good to have you with us.
I thought the ensign did a very good job.
He did?
Yes.
You think we should recommend him for promotion?
Well, certainly. Make him ensign, too.
Right. James Doohan, of course, the actor that has really been legendary and a member of one of the most beloved and probably one of the most historic acting troupes in entertainment history, the Star Trek crew.
So they tell us. 25 years is quite a long time, but we're going to have more of those years added on.
You will. And we're going to be talking about a lot of the history of Star Trek and the future of Star Trek.
Right.
And talking about a lot of nice things that folks could have. Let's start out by showing you this. This is the actor's plaque right now that we're going to be talking about, and that is, of course, the limited edition Scotty autographed photo plaque, and that comes to you for only $108. Shipping and handling is $5.72, and it can come with a payments of on Easy Pay, 3 payments of $36 each if you'd like to use your credit card. And we'll be talking about all of these things tonight, Jimmy, if I may call you that.
Well, you know, the beautiful thing I find about these plaques is that they're so very permanent. Like a picture can wrinkle and everything else, but these are so gorgeous and they're so thick.
Look at them. They're really made well. And what you're talking about is a beautiful 8x10 picture of Jimmy Doohan here, signed James Doohan as Scotty, and that is the authentic signature, and each one comes with a certificate of authenticity for you. And down on the bottom it has the 25th anniversary Star Trek plaque. And over here it has Scotty, Chief Engineer, USS Enterprise, NCC 1701. And down on the bottom, I'll lift it up so you can just barely see it down there. It says limited edition of 1,000. We have to update you on something already in this hour. The Star Trek pin is completely sold out to the piece.
Sold out?
Sold out to the piece. I had a feeling that was going to go. We'll try and get some more of those in, but that is completely sold out to the piece. Thanks for your calls on that. The limited edition Scotty plaque, though, still with you. That's a really good-looking picture of you there, Jimmy.
Thank you. I like that one.
Good, handsome picture.
Thank you.
What era was that taken in?
That was 1979 or 80, one or the other.
Okay.
Because it was for the Star Trek the Motion Picture, the very first one.
The very first one,
yes,
right.
Where we had all those fancy uniforms that sometimes didn't work too well.
Meaning what?
Well, there's that the shoes were built into the costume, right? There was one occasion where I had to run, and of course, as I ran, my feet came out of my my feet came out of my shoe, and there I was going plop 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 plop, you know, and so they had to bind them somehow so that we could get a good take out of this whole thing.
You look at that movie and you don't see any of that. You don't see any of that.
They make sure they cut. That's good editing.
They did that indeed. Well, Star Trek was created by Gene Roddenberry, and obviously a gentleman that's had a very big effect on your life. But what was interesting to me was how you got the part of Scotty. What were you doing? They were casting what was then called the Menagerie and has since been called the Cage, the original pilot. They were doing that in 1964, which was 2 years ahead of that.
That's
you
right.
didn't enter into that film at that time, that shot. You were in Where No Man Has Gone Before, which was the first
That's
show.
Right. I wasn't in that
66.
first pilot. As a matter of fact, the only people that were in the first pilot was Leonard Nimoy, who went on to the second pilot, of course, and Majel Barrett, who is now Gene's wife.
Right, and the voice of the computer.
And the voice of the computer also, yes.
Right.
So
what were you doing at that time then? Did you know this?
Well, I was just doing different little parts in around Hollywood, and about 2 weeks before they were going to do the second pilot, my agent called me to read for the part of a Scotland Yard inspector in Burke's Law, which had Gene Barry in the lead.
Right.
And I didn't get that job, but 10 days later, the director of that called me up and said, Jimmy, I'm going to be directing the second pilot of Star Trek, and I'd like you to come and do some of your accents for them. So I went down there, they handed me a piece of paper, and I read that paper in 7 or 8 different accents, and at the end, Gene Roddenberry said to me, well, which accent do you like? And I said, well, in my experience, that if you want an engineer, he better be a Scotsman. So Gene said, well, we rather like that one too, so that was that, you know.
Right. We should let folks know that we have another sellout. The original crew plaque has just completely sold out. Thanks for your calls on that one.
Goodness.
Well, you're from Canada.
That's right. I was born in Vancouver, British Columbia.
A lot of people think you're from Scotland.
Well, that's only because I do the accent so well, you know.
That's true. But what amazed me was that you actually started in radio. You were in drama in radio with, doing over 4,000 different shows, you said?
No, well, I didn't do those until later on, starting in around 1953. I had done maybe 30 or 40 of them then, but it wasn't until I moved from New York back to Toronto because they had offered me so much work that I couldn't turn them down. And during the following 8 years, after the first year, I was called Canada's busiest actor, and during that period of time, I did about 400 live television shows, a bunch of tape television shows, and 4,000 radio shows. And hey, it was just fun. I was delighted to be busy.
It's amazing when you look at this picture of yourself here, and knowing that that was after everything had happened, and you were a major star at that time. But everyone always looks at something like this and says, overnight success.
Oh, yeah, right.
And you have decades of acting experience behind you. And one thing comes along like Gene Roddenberry, and you're off and running.
The first professional thing I ever did was a 15-minute radio show in Toronto in January of 1946. I was paid $12 for that. Right.
I think this would be a great plaque to have because in terms of the of the original crew, you really played one of the pivotal folks. I mean, it was always Captain Kirk that turned to Scotty for help.
Aye, that's true. He needs someone to fix the ship, you know. And
it was always more power or get the engines going.
There's always something, but you know, as I tell people, I say the only time that anything ever goes wrong with my engines is when they write a story about it. The rest of the time, we're working perfectly up there, you know.
That's right. Never a problem at all. When you first were given the character for Where No Man Has Gone Before, the story, I think it was of the General Gary Lockwood becomes a very super intelligent human being.
Practically a god, as they say.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, he thought himself of that as
he thought he was, yes.
But when you first looked at the script, were you given leeway to create the character of Scott, or?
No, actually, to me, the character was created when I opened my mouth with a Scottish accent.
That was it, huh?
Yeah, because to me, the character is 99% James Doohan and 1% accent.
There's a lot of you in there.
Oh, you're darn right. Yeah.
A lot of
and he's as James Doohan is as feisty as Scotty is, and vice versa.
Well, the picture that we're looking at here has that in the eyes. When you take a look at the picture across the eyes there, it really truly is that. This is beautifully done, and I could use a ruler so we can measure this, but I'll give you the dimensions here. It's 15 inches high and 12 inches wide. The picture is an 8x10 color glossy, and over the top of it is, as Jimmy was just saying, it's a permanent piece. The picture will fall apart on you, but that's going to stay put because of the rivets and
it's riveted on. I was just going to say
it's really well done. This is an acrylic cover on top of the picture, and Jimmy Doohan's signature right across the top of the shirt there. And for anybody who's a Star Trek fan, especially of someone who is interested in one of the legends of Hollywood in terms of beloved characters created, this is a great one. And we put it on Easy Pay for you as well if you'd like to own it. 3 payments of $36 each, and that Scotty plaque is yours. Give us a ring right now. Things are going quickly here on the Star Trek Special. What we have for you right there is Sulu's autographed plaque. This is, of course, George Takei. We'll be asking Jimmy about the various fellows in here. This is yours for only $83.25. Also, that great captain's plaque. This is autographed by William Shatner, and it's $141.75, or 3 payments on Easy Pay of $47.25 each. C8303. That's a great poster suitable for framing. There is a quote in an article, and I'll read this exactly from my notes as I was taking a look at them here, that you said, your quote was, "You know, they talk about Scotty reading technical journals. They got that because James Doohan reads technical journals."
That's true.
And what we have for is a technical journal based on the character that James Doohan played, of course, Mr. Scott, Montgomery Scott, and this is the Guide to the Enterprise. This is a great book for any of you who are technically oriented to take a look at. I'm going to open it up for just a second to show you what you have in here. Not only do you get a lot of articles about each one of these, and this is like a history. You're talking about refitting the engines in NCC 1701 on the Enterprise, and you get complete schematics of everything on the inside, just as Mr. Scott, the character in the movie and the series, would have told you. It's only $61.50 if you would like to have it.
When it comes down to numbers, you know, like 1701, I was with the Royal Navy for 6 weeks doing a specific job there, and the landing craft tank that I was on was number 1701.
Talk about
talk about
synchronicity
coincidence.
some way. Really. And you find all of this on the inside. Take a look at this. All of these are all the layouts of all of the decks. For instance, this is the docking port deck and the complex that you're going to find inside there. This is decks levels 12 and 13. You have all of the, as I said, you have all of the levels marked out in the starship right here. This gives you all of the different levels and the decks that you have on there. And then you can go through the book and look at the schematics of everything that's in there on every deck as you go through, plus a complete write-out of all of these. The warp engine room, where you spent a lot of time in the films.
Good. And this is a very, very big seller. I have autographed tons of these, but these are all autographed by me.
Right down there.
And they are a limited edition also.
Yeah, very, very nice. You picked a really nice spot right under the Enterprise to write on there, too. This is item C8303 at $61.50. Comes with a certificate of authenticity on the signature. Of course, we're not going to be giving you anything that's not, of course, exactly what we say it is, but it's right on the inside there. All of the graphics are in here, too. The folks that write these, Jimmy, they have such imagination.
True.
You know, every one of them.
But then we had a very imaginative show.
You certainly did. In the beginning, was it really flying by the seat of your pants? I mean, you hear so many stories about what was going on there with, you see the blooper reels in the conventions, etc. But was it as much fun as it looked like it was?
Oh, it really was as much fun. But the only problems with doing television, and particularly in those days, is that they were always hurrying you, because we didn't have too much money in our budget, but we had to hurry to get the shots done. And of course, when you hurry, you make mistakes.
Yep.
And so we got a lot of laughs out of it also.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I really liked about it, was that there were a lot of serious themes in there that we can talk about in a few moments, but you allowed yourselves to laugh. I mean, Bill Shatner is a great light comedy actor. When you just look at him in things like Trouble with Tribbles and the funniness in there.
Yeah.
But you allowed yourself to laugh at yourselves too.
Oh, sure, absolutely. You know, I love to watch the bloopers, you know, but to me, there are so many bloopers that we don't even know what went on at the same time there that we've had to cut them out. But the one I like best is the guards coming into the jail, and just as they're going, one guard just slips and he slides right across the floor, you know, about that far over there. And I think that's the best one yet.
You like that? Well, let's say hello to a viewer and see and meet one of our viewers, and then we'll probably want to say hi to you, okay?
All right.
Take a look out here. Hello there, you're live on the air with us. What's your name, please?
My name is Valerie.
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 Yes.
Nice to meet you. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Well, welcome to the Star Trek special, and please meet Jimmy Doohan.
Nice
Hi.
to meet you, Valerie.
I'm glad to meet you.
Thank you.
What can we do for you tonight?
Well, I have to buy a Beam Me Up Scotty shirt. What else?
That's great.
Were you a big fan?
Oh, yes.
How long did you see the whole series when it was first broadcast in its first run?
I don't think she was that old.
Fortunately, I did.
Huh?
Fortunately, I did.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, she doesn't sound that old, does she?
No, I don't know. She's not
A
that
young
old.
lass.
A wee tiny lass.
What do you think of some of the things we have tonight?
Oh, I love them. It's fun. Really, really fun.
Can I ask you what Star Trek meant to you as a young girl growing up?
Well, I was like a mother by the time Star Trek started. And I had to say that my husband was a big fan, and he was a pilot. So we never missed Star Trek.
Okay.
All right.
Loved it. And
Did
children, too, of course, loved it.
When it went on to reruns, did you have to change your dinner hour?
Absolutely. What else?
Just
Sure.
like a lot of other mothers.
Yeah, you can't miss that episode, can you?
Right, right.
Would you care to play a word game with us while we're at it?
I'll try.
All righty, and Jimmy has been watching this from the back. And he was telling me at dinner tonight that he's watched QVC quite often out there. So we'll play the word game with you right here, show you a scrambled word, give you a clue. And if you can unscramble it, we'll take you right to the prize wheel, okay?
Okay.
And the rest of you can continue calling in on Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise. If you are technically oriented at all, this is a really fabulous book signed by James Doohan. Only $61.50 if you would like to own it. All right, Valerie, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Here is your clue. This is a spice. A spice. Good luck.
Caraway?
Caraway, let's see if that's correct. Caraway is right. Congratulations.
Super.
And that takes you to the prize wheel. Take a look over here and we'll have Katie spin that for you.
Okay.
Live long and prosper, she says.
Well, I hope Valerie prospers.
Yes, indeed. With $50 to $250 in shopper dollars there, Valerie, you could be prospering quite well, and you are going to prosper with...
Oh, wow, wow, wow.
$250.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Now all you have to work on is living long.
Yes. Great.
Congratulations, and we will have that right in your account in only 24 to 72 hours. And if you'll please stay on the line, we'll have that credited. Any final questions for Jimmy Doohan before we say bye-bye?
No, just come up with another good one.
Well, darling, we have finished number 6, and it looks like it's going to be better than any of the others.
Wonderful.
All right.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Thanks very much. Have a good day, Valerie.
Good to you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Valerie.
C8303, the autograph Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise signed by James Doohan, and it's extremely limited quantities. Very few of these remain. If you'd like one of the final ones, please come and get them. They are a limited edition.
You're watching QVC, the enjoyable way to shop.
Welcome back to the Star Trek special here on QVC, something that we put together in response to your requests. And our very special guest, James Doohan. Glad to have you with us, Jim.
Hey, it's
Really
a
nice
great pleasure to be here, Bob.
Yeah.
And it's a great pleasure to be here and see that you are buying up just about everything that we put on this screen. And it's marvelous.
It's going very quickly. 25 years and 3 days ago, on September 8th,
That's right.
1966,
Yeah.
they put Star Trek on the air for the first time. When you, what's it like to, being a minor actor like me? I mean, I can imagine you had done so many things. You had done another one of my great favorite shows was Have Gun Will Travel. Did you do any of
Have
that?
Gun Will Travel, yes.
Yeah, you did Bonanza and the Virginia
And Gunsmoke.
right, you've done a lot of those.
What? Oh, gracious.
But they were all guest
So many.
shots, weren't they?
Yes,
What did
yes.
it feel like, and what does it feel like for an actor to finally sit in his living room in Hollywood, California, and like you did on September 8th, 1966, and see your series on the air? Was that really an exhilarating moment for you?
Yes, it was, because to me, we loved our scripts so much that we were so fortunate to have probably the best scripts any actor could possibly want, particularly on his show, shall we say.
Right.
And time after time we would read these scripts. We'd sit down at a table and read the script that we're going to do in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, in 4 weeks. And everybody would say, "Whoa, wait till you read this one." "No, wait till you read this one. This one is better than even those." You know, and it's marvelous.
well,
Any
you had-
actor loves a good script.
We had, of course, Gene Roddenberry writing for you. You had D.C. Fontana writing for you. You had all the great sci-fi writers.
Gene Kuhn was, he wrote under about 4 different names.
You had Harlan
Gene-
Ellison writing
Harlan
for you?
Ellison, yes, he wrote one. And, well, I tell you, it was marvelous. It was like D.C. Fontana was Gene's secretary, and she came in one day with an idea for a show, and Gene just said to her, "Well, write it." And he hired another secretary. And she became the story editor, has since written many, many other screenplays, and is probably one of the best writers you'll find in Hollywood
Sure.
today.
How did these writers accept your ideas? Would you ever be able to say to a D.C. Fontana or a Harlan Ellison, I don't think Scotty would have said it this way, or did you have any leeway of changing?
Yes, but the great majority of our writers were really awfully good,
At pegging your character?
Oh, yes, and Gene had usually helped them along a lot, like with The Trouble with Tribbles there. David Gerald, he had never written a script before, and he was a college student at the time, And Gene would send him back to do some more work, and then send him back again to do some more work. And Dorothy Fontana would help him and everything else. And hey, that was the trouble with Tribbles. And we came out with a great show, and a great majority of that is because Gene is very willing to help people that have good ideas.
I heard your final line in that film was an ad-lib that you came up with to crack everybody up, and they kept it, where you said, what happened to, Captain Kirk said, what happened to the Tribbles? And you said,
oh, that was no Tribble at all.
Beamed them over to the Klingon engine room. That was a complete ad-lib, and it made it work. Well, you know, we've been talking about Star Trek, and we haven't looked at any of it yet. Let's take a look at a classic clip from Jimmy Doohan's series.
Beware.
You know, I leaned over to Jimmy and I said, that's from The Naked Time.
That's right.
And he said, it's a nearly naked George we were looking at there.
Right.
Great story.
But you know, George is so much fun that his agent died, and I brought him in to see my agent because I really like George. He gives so much when he makes a personal appearance, and it's just marvelous to see an actor do that, because he loves the people too. He loves all the fans, you know, and
he does a lot of personal appearances.
Oh, he certainly does.
He was just in our area here in Philadelphia, and we had hoped to get up there to see him, but we were bogged down with work on this show.
Yeah,
so
you're quite a long way from Philadelphia, as far as I know. But even though I raced down here today, we had one of the fastest cars in the whole speedway, I think.
Well, we have something from one of the fastest fleet in the Federation, too. But this is something from one of your compatriots. This is a medical reference manual that is something that the imagination of these writers put together that Bones McCoy would have used. And you were telling me this is an antique in some ways.
It's an antique, of course. So is DeForest, you know. He's about 5 weeks older than I am, so I call him an antique. You know, he's a very slim one, though, you know, and that bugs you to no end.
He is kind of slim, isn't he? This is item C8302, and it's the Starfleet Medical Manual at $55. Shipping and handling is $4.47. This is the original cover on the piece when it was produced in 1977, and that's going to be included for you. And you can see down in 1977 it was sold for $6.95 at the conventions, but you can't get it anymore. And we managed to grab a bunch of them.
All right.
And we have put it together for you in a new package. We have included the original old cover for you collectors, so you have it there. And it comes with a new package in here. And this is really something. Just like the book, which, by the way, is as close to selling out as you can get, the Mr. Scott's Technical Manual for the Enterprise, almost gone. If you'd like to get one, you better get one of those. And here is Bones McCoy's medical book. And it has all of the new drugs. What's funny to me, James, is the minds of these writers. They come up with drugs, and they're all based in actual physiological science. These are all possible.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
It really is nice, and I mean,
you get nothing but the truth from McCoy, you know.
That's right, and he doesn't hold it back either.
No, but you know, he's never given away the secrets to that salt and pepper shaker that he has that brings you back to life, you know.
That's right. This is almost gone. We're going to have to leave it right now. This is almost completely sold out as well. Both manuals getting very, very slim. If you'd like to own either one, they are limited editions, and they're available right now at 1-800-345-1515. Now tell the truth, what were you looking at there, both of you?
Well, I'm looking up at the screen up there to judge what's going to happen with the antimatter, you know. Gracious, I mean, it's a very tense moment.
It was. It was.
Right.
The first thing we saw up there was from the Naked Time, though, with one of the great lines that Bill Shatner delivered in all the history.
Yeah.
No beach to walk on.
No beach to walk on.
He had quite a role in that episode.
Yeah.
He did quite well. We're here with James Doohan, Scotty, or Montgomery Scott, and right over there, we're just going to show a picture of it. We won't put it between us, Jimmy, but one of the great posters, and this one is the USS Enterprise, and it's autographed by James Doohan. And the autograph is down on the side there. There are the 3 Enterprises that you see, and this has been released as the commemorative poster for the 25th anniversary of Star Trek. This is C8323 at $83.25. Shipping and handling is $4.47. Comes with a certificate of authenticity. Great background, the space background, and the 3 different Enterprises. Of course, you see the Next Generation Enterprise up there as well. Was the ship envisioned when you started rehearsing for your first piece?
They had made the final decision on the design of the ship quite a while before, because they had to have it, to be able to shoot the pilots. So but they went through tremendous designs that were of, I love what they came up with. It's just gorgeous.
Sure. I've seen a lot of the different drawings on each one. It's funny in that the first 79 episodes, you guys got thrown around inside the starship quite a bit. Now, a lot of folks probably remember an old friend of ours who worked here named Joe Farrago, and I know Joe's watching. Hello there, Joe. Nice to hear from you. But Joe Farrago, of course, one of the show hosts at QVC, has gone to Hollywood, and he's become quite successful as an actor, and he's in Star Trek VI. And he was telling me now they have the whole sets up there on what are called gimbals, which shake the whole set.
Yes.
But back in the days of the original Star Trek, did you guys have to throw yourselves around?
We just had to throw ourselves around, and the floor director would go like this for us to go that side. Then he'd go like this side, and then back a little bit, and we had to go back, and then forward, and everything else. And people always say to us, well, didn't you have any seat belts or anti-gravity things or something, And I just look at them and I say, picky, 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 We had to have something dramatic.
That's right. Yeah, a great poster drawn by the artists, of course, that are out there at Paramount. A lot of the drawings that you see that we have in the manuals, etc., are coming from some of the great creative minds in science fiction. The Enterprise autograph poster signed by Mr. Scott, James Doohan, at $83.25. When do you think Star Trek hit its stride, when all the elements were together?
Well, actually, in the first 3 years, we were beating out the competition, what was called the 30 cities rating at that time. But when it was broadcast through the rest of the country, we dropped down to 48, 49, 50, 51, and I think the lowest we ever went was 51. And that's a great golf score, but it doesn't work too good with the Nielsen ratings. So then it makes you begin to wonder about what the ratings really do a good job or not.
Right.
But anyway, Star Trek I think was on at the wrong time, and when they put it on at 6 o'clock at night for most of the places, or 5 o'clock at night in the central time zones, then it took off, and pretty soon it was 7 nights a week, all around the country, and now, of course, all over the world.
Sure.
And it's been translated into just about every language in the world. I was over in Germany a little while ago, and I was walking by some young people eventually from Malaysia. I found out that they were from there, and they said to me, "Oh, you're Mr. Scott, And I said, "Yes." I said, "Where are you from?" "Malaysia." And I said, "And you see Star Trek in Malaysia?" "Oh, yes, oh, yes." And of course, it's into its second year in China now.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah, it's all translated into Chinese. I've seen myself with talking with the German accent. Yeah.
You can have this great poster, too, signed by Jimmy Doohan. It is a longer poster. It's 36 inches across left to right, and it's 24 inches up to down, suitable for framing. A lot of great space backgrounds in there. And we have somebody who wants to say hi to us, so let's say hi. Hello there. You're live on the air. What's your name, please?
Yes, my name is Ron from Roanoke, Virginia.
Hello, Ron. How you doing?
Ron
Oh,
from
pretty
Roanoke.
good.
Hey.
Please meet Jim Doohan.
How you doing, Mr. Doohan?
Hey, just nice to meet you, Ron.
I'd like to thank you for all the hours of enjoyment we've had out of the Star Trek series that we watch. I just ordered your plaque and add to my collection. I've got a little bit of everything.
Well, thank you very much. That's just great.
Do you have any questions for Jim?
Well, one really. I hear y'all talking about the bloopers. I was wondering if there's any way to get a hold to a bloopers tape.
We were talking about that at dinner tonight.
As a matter of fact, there is. If you can only find some of these conventions, some of the dealers have copies of those tapes. I don't know whether it's legal or illegal or not.
Yeah, we tried to get a hold of some for the show, but the Paramount folks do not release the bloopers for sale. You can probably find them, but they would be bootlegs if you did.
They would probably be bootlegged. So.
Right. They'd still be nice to have, I would think.
Oh yeah,
I've been.
I have them, but Gene Roddenberry gave them to me. Though.
Yeah, right. We thank you so much for being a part of our special. If you're anything like me, you're a great fan, and this is certainly a really exciting evening for us.
It's really been nice to talk to Mr. Doohan, and I'd like to thank him again for all the enjoyment we've had out of his series.
It's my great pleasure, Ron. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you very much, Mr. Doohan.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. What are your favorite episodes? I could tell you, for mine, City on the Edge of Forever with Joan Collins, I really like that. A Piece of the Action has to be one of my favorites.
That's a cute one, yeah.
That was a good one. Shore Leave, I liked The Enemy Within.
Uh-huh.
Is there anyone that stands out
my
for you?
favorite was the Devil in the Dark. And not in the order of what I'm talking about. Doomsday Machine.
Yeah.
Trouble with Tribbles. Wolf in the Fold was kind of cute. Murderously cute, but nevertheless.
Right.
Anyway, to me, we had so many good ones, though. It was very hard to pick and choose.
The writers really gave it to you when you had all of that. These posters are getting extremely limited. In fact, we are getting limited in just about everything. So as soon as you see something up on the screen that you'd like to have, it would be a very good idea to get on the line at 1-800-345-1515. $83.25, the QVC price for a brilliant poster showing you all three of the enterprises that have been in existence in the films and the stories. Here is the Klingon mask, modeled, of course, on Worf. A great thing ready to go for your Halloween hauntings. And that one comes to you for $38.50. That jacket is also available, too, if you'd like to have it. That's the 25th commemoration jacket. And there's the Vulcan costume mask, $38.50. Well, here is something that I think anybody who is a Star Trek fan would love to have. This is an actual uniform that would have been worn. This is a replica of the one that would have been worn by Sulu, and it's signed by your buddy George Takei, right across the front with his actual signature right on the front of it. This is item C8304, and it comes to you for only $108. Or 3 payments of $36 each on Easy Pay if you'd like to use your credit card. We brought them only in size extra large, so one size fits all. They are spandex polyester, so they will fit just about anybody. They have the insignia right on the breast and right across the front there, signed by George Takei.
And you know, I was instrumental in getting George to sign these.
Yeah?
You know that?
How was that?
Because I asked him to.
Please, George, sign the shirts. Let me ask you, when you're talking about the characters, and this is quite interesting because I have dabbled in acting, and of course you've been an actor all of your life. And what occurred to me was that Leonard Nimoy actually had to write a book that said, "I am not Spock," because so many people connected him with the character.
Yeah.
What is it like for an actor such as yourself, who has a great history of credits, to be so attached to a character or seen as a character that you kind of you become that person to everybody?
Well, actually, it's rather deadly in a way when you become typecast. But people didn't typecast me until somewhere around the late 70s, because I had been working on a lot of other different shows when we were canceled. And then I was called up by a friend of mine who was a director that I had worked for before. And he called me from Madrid and said, "Jimmy, can you do a French-Canadian accent?" I said, "Sure." He said, "Well, okay, you just let your beard grow and be over here in 5 days," which I did. And 5.5 months later, I was back in Hollywood again. And I'd walk into people's offices, and the secretary would look at me and say, "Oh, Mr. Scott," which they never did in 1969 and 1970. And then I'd walk in and to the producer, and before I know it, I wasn't even given a chance to read or anything else. It's, you know, it was absolutely very deadly. And so I was complaining about it, and a friend of mine said to me, he says, "Jimmy," he says, "you're going to be Scotty long after you're dead." So he says, "I wouldn't worry about it." He says, "You just go with the flow." And since then, I've taken his advice, and not only that, my life has improved vastly, and I have an awful lot of fun.
Well, you certainly can have a lot of fun, especially, as I had said at the top of the show, just the feeling and the knowledge that you are a member of one of the most beloved troupes of actors that's been in entertainment history. That is a great feeling.
That's really something.
I was telling you the story that my friend Joe Farrago had said about these uniforms when he was shooting Star Trek VI with you all. But were they real hot? They would seem to me to be real hot if you're under the...
They got to be quite hot, you know. We hoped that as soon as we finished shooting, the air conditioners would be turned on, and we always hoped that they had bigger air conditioners than the ones they had. But you'd have your makeup man come along and mop your brow, you know, and make sure that there was no shining water there.
Did you all have your own set of uniforms?
Oh yes,
there was a Scotty uniform.
They had a lot of them. We each had 4 or 5 uniforms. Because in those days, when we were shooting in the hot weather, they would have to send their uniforms out to the cleaners every night, you know, and would come back with the fresh ones.
Right.
You know.
This one is really nice. Again, one size fits all. It has the gold bands that show Sulu's rank. Lieutenant Commander, and he was, of course, the navigator on the Enterprise. This has a nice ribbed collar. It's open, not ribbed at the base, so you can wear it over slacks or a skirt or tucked in. It doesn't really matter. But the real thing to notice is another great signature. And again, when you go to the conventions, you can get stamped signatures, but to really get the gentleman's signature
this
on
is the
there,
real stuff.
That's the real thing you're talking about right there, and you don't get your opportunity to get a hold of that too often. $108 or 3 payments on Easy Pay of $36 each. Let's say hello to another viewer, Jimmy. Hello there. Oh, well, let's do the lucky number first. Let's do that, and then we'll talk about 2 of you. There's Dan, going to draw the lucky number. We're going to draw 4 digits to make up one lucky number, and whenever those 4 digits match in the same exact sequence, either the first 4 digits or the last 4 digits of the QVC membership number, then you are a winner. All you have to do is call us before the next lucky number is drawn on this channel, and $25 will then be credited to your QVC account, and you'll be automatically entered in the next day's $1,000 grand prize drawing here at QVC, and that's a lot of shopper dollars. If you don't yet have a QVC membership number, one will be assigned to you immediately and privately right on the phone if you dial 1-800-345-1515. No purchase necessary. 0885 0885, the brand new current QVC lucky number. And let's say hello to that viewer we were just about to say hi to.
Oh, all right.
Hello there, you're live on the air on the Star Trek special. What is your name, please?
Paul Valentine.
Paul?
Paula.
Paula, how are you?
I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Please meet James Doohan.
Hello, Scotty.
How you doing there, Paula? It's very nice to hear your voice.
I collect books.
Good, you.
Star Trek.
Good.
Do you? So you're picking up the manuals tonight?
No, I got a Beam Me Up Scotty T-shirt.
All right.
Atta girl.
Is Scotty your favorite character out of the series?
All of them are.
All of them. What a good girl. That's great.
It's hard to pick any of them, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Did you grow up with Star Trek, or did you fell in love with it during syndication?
Well, I was born in '69, so I started watching it then.
All right.
So you picked up when it first hit syndication then?
Yes, sir.
Are you a true fan? You look it up every night on the TV and find out where it is?
Yes, sir.
Good enough. Any questions you have for Jimmy?
Scotty, when y'all coming back to Greensboro?
Oh, I tell you, what was it? What was about a year and a half ago, right?
I guess so. I don't know.
I think so. It was about a year and a half ago that I was at Greensboro. Oh, Greensboro, South Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Ah, all right. Well, yes, I remember now. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to have to talk to Vince and get him to book me back there again, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thanks a lot for calling, Paula. Live long and prosper.
Same to you.
All right,
Bye-bye,
bye-bye.
Miss Scott.
Bye, dear.
We have Sulu's or George Takei's autographed top, and as Jimmy and I were just saying, you can get these shirts, close to these shirts, but you can't get that signature on very many of them. Comes with a certificate of authenticity for George Takei's signature. Sulu, of course, was the character he played, C8304.